I was impressed. Now that you've made it public, I was impressed to find out your dad's lore in being on Robot Wars. That was.
Did we never talk about that before?
We did talk about it. You've definitely spoke about it publicly.
Somewhere.
I talked about Trash Taste though?
Maybe not Trash Taste. We've definitely spoke about it.
I talked about it and I made fun of you because I was like, I did a video on it recently. I talked about how the BBC fucked me, basically. They on Robot Wars, we built like a robot out of like duct tape and dreams, and it cost like 500 quid. And on the show Robot Wars, all these working class men build these robots. It takes years. And they battle them out.
Yeah.
And the BBC built like 5 indestructible robots, each one costing like £1 million, built out of like titanium, Kevlar, and fucking lasers.
Yeah.
And like, you know, my dad's like battling it out with his fucking dustbin lid with a pickaxe on. And then BBC's Sir Killalot, who's a fucking robot who's like in the Epstein files or something. Sir fucking Killalot. Rolled over, picked up my dad's robot and just roasted it over a flame like a chicken.
Jesus.
I was like, fucking BBC, I'll show you. And I've got a photo of Carl just comes up. In the video, I'll get back at the BBC.
Sir Killalot was way overpowered. When you were a kid, it was so boring when he came out because he just always won.
A surf, for God's sake.
Nabi, can you search up Sir Killalot?
He also looks fucking sick though. He does.
But
look
this was
sick.
like the biggest TV show in the UK for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, this was like
they did reruns.
This
in
was my
Australia as well.
childhood.
Were you even born, Connor?
I watched it on
When
TV.
I went on it, you would have been like 4.
I do remember this
Do
guy.
you know this?
Yes, I do. Yeah, because they used to show reruns
thing
on
looks like
Australian
a-
TV, and I do remember this guy.
It's like a reused Terminator.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they found the remains.
It's like
of
an actual like transformer.
The T1.
Yeah, the T1.
Oh,
yeah.
scary.
Look at that
Scary,
thing.
yeah.
Holy fuck.
Mr. Psycho.
I got to touch it once. It feels cold to the touch.
The only man who's ever touched him and lived to tell the tale.
I'm only going to smash it up now after what it did to my dad's robot. Look at that. You should see it, Joe. My inheritance went up in flames on national television. It was shit.
75 kilograms.
That's so
Fuck me.
funny.
Yeah.
No, I think it was like 750
Wait, really?
kilograms. Yeah.
Hold on. Sorry, I said the weight of it.
Yeah, go down.
Hold on.
So I thought it was
Yeah, 750 kilograms.
So my
700.
dad's robot was 70 kilograms. That was 700 kilograms.
That's unfair. There's got to be some weight class stuff going on here.
Well, no, the whole point of them were they were the house robots. You know, they were meant to be overpowered.
But then when they
Sorry, to come on the other side here, Chris.
you figured out eventually it was like the flipper ones always won. Like if it could just flip.
So,
Yeah.
like all things,
No,
it becomes
'cause,
like the enshittification of Robot Wars. Once somebody discovered, just have a flipper robot then.
They
and it
beat
just basically
everything,
flipped
right?
robots. And there was a robot called Big Wheelie Cheese. It looked delicious, dare I say. It was a big fucking robot, looked like a wedge of cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It rolled up to our robot, flipped it through the air, like 50 feet.
Yeah.
I actually remember this.
We're on the
episode.
front cover of Robot Wars magazine. My dad's robot Killatron was like flipping rubbish. And my dad was like, get your Robot Wars. such a resentful childhood.
Because the goat of Robot Wars for so long was Chaos 2, if I remember correctly.
Was that the one that we just like the thing?
Yeah,
Little flipper.
No. That was Razor. Razor was
God,
my
you know
favorite.
the
Yeah,
law.
I know it.
What the fuck? You know
No.
the
My-
law.
The big,
BBC.
That's why you wanted to
the,
work at the BBC.
the big 3 of Robot Wars. At the top was Chaos 2. Number 2 was
Killatron.
Hypnodisc.
Yeah.
Hypnodisc was so much
It was a
fun.
disc that just spun really fast. It
Yeah.
was threaded
Christopher
on it.
Broad.
Yeah.
Christopher Broad, right there.
Killatron.
There I am as my dad's friend Abdul.
How did you come up with the name Killatron?
I don't know.
Is that the big cheese there?
Oh, God.
What is that
Let's
thing?
see.
That's just some piece of shit.
What is that?
I don't know. Some of the robots were good. There was one called like Shogun, which looked like a racist samurai robot thing. It was good, but like...
Okay, let's have a look at the footage. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
See who
Yeah,
won this fight. So we're showing a patrons, not patrons, audio listeners. We're showing. You can
Yeah.
just skip ahead.
Yeah, skip ahead.
Yeah.
There I am down there.
Oh, go back.
No, just go. All right.
Okay.
There I am. Look down the bottom.
Oh
right,
my God.
Looking.
Oh my
That was
god.
the last time I ever smiled.
You still pose like that.
Fuck off.
You still always go.
He's posing like an esports player.
It was crazy. My dad's robot came 4th place in Series 2.
Damn.
I don't know how the heck he did that. I think it's just because it was heavy and the axe was quite good. You know,
Yeah.
The axe was pretty powerful.
Did you get prize money for that?
If you win Robot Wars, the prize was like, here's £200. It's like, that doesn't cover the
That's like-
cost of the journey to London.
That's like the depressing part of becoming an adult and watching UK television game shows and realizing you've won the grand prize of $1 grand. And you're like, I had to beat how many people to get here?
Yeah, it was pretty slipshod.
Because they do TV shows every day. So obviously the prize couldn't be much. But you're like, $1 grand.
Well, the value
that doesn't cover the fucking holiday inn.
Yeah, the value back then was to be on TV, right?
Yeah,
That's
then,
what they tried to sell you.
But then you get to be the dumb fuck who like couldn't tell you what the 7th planet in the chain was.
Of course.
Like, astronomers.
I remember first watching Dragon's Den. Right, do you remember Dragon's Den? And I remember, basically, it's an investment show.
Actually quite good in there.
Shark Tank, I think Australia.
Yeah, Australia probably has their own version.
Yeah.
And in the UK, people would like, come to the Sharks and pitch an idea for like 200, maybe like, 80 to like 100,000 pounds, right? And I was like, damn, that's a lot of money to start a business. I remember the first time seeing Shark Tank and them casually like throwing around millions of dollars. I was like, what the
I'll give you
fuck?
$1 million for 10% of your company.
Yeah, exactly. This is like more money than like the Dragons were worth to put together, and they're just casually throwing it around for like one business.
British TV's a joke.
It's so funny.
There's no money on British TV.
Yeah, there's
and
none.
you get your fucking inheritance smashed up. It's just depressing. We made another robot called like Spinatron, and it had a spinning axe. And what happened is that the moment the axe made contact, it just shattered, and because it couldn't take the weight. It was so.
That doesn't sound.
I wonder how do you go about testing these robots?
I wonder. I think my dad used to take down like a car park.
You wonder.
Pretty much fire.
What did you test it on?
Build another robot?
Yeah.
I think
Chris,
he
invite your friends over.
just took it down the town hall and in the car park and just drove it around and fired the axe. It must have been illegal.
It doesn't
Sound
sound legal.
like you would need a couple of permits.
Yeah.
But what permit exists for that?
But then I watched Colin Furze on YouTube, and you know the guy who's like the British guy who just invents shit in his back garden.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I always wonder what everyone in the fucking council estate must fucking hate him. 'Cause he's in like a cul-de-sac, and he built like a bunker in his house, and he builds shit that's like, I'm going to build a bike with flamethrowers that propel it, and you're like, what? And he also shows his house constantly on YouTube, which I always thought was like insane.
Yeah.
Have you seen this guy?
I think the name sounds familiar for sure.
He's the British guy who goes, all right, today we're building a bike.
Is he the guy that made like the safe door into his bunker? I think I remember seeing that video.
Everything he does is crazy.
Yeah.
He'll do like, I made a gun out of dildos. And you're like, wow.
Yeah.
How many dildos do you
That would
have?
be your robot
Yeah,
concept. What would your robot be, Connor? The Welsh dragon. It breathes fire.
Yeah, I don't know. Cold to the touch. Ice cold. Freezes anything that comes into contact with it.
But I did a video on this recently. I was just sort of sad because I was like, this doesn't exist anymore. And it'd be called like Prompt Wars now. And people would be like, Prompt Wars. I want a robot on ChatGPT. And it would be like made in Guangzhou and shipped over, and there'd be no robot. You'd have to-
I think because reality TV is back now.
and all the people that made robots then just sit on Twitter getting angry at imaginary things now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn it. Like
Everything
my dad.
is rage-based now.
Rage-based.
So
Everything's
bait.
to conquer that.
any more champagne?
Yeah.
Joey?
I'm
I'll
We all done with the 2000 brute?
It's warm.
Piss, mate.
It's lukewarm,
It's like it's vinegar,
brother.
bro.
You are having champagne, my friend.
It is vinegar.
Brother,
Doesn't taste
put
good.
that shit in the fridge at least, man.
Yeah.
Nabby, would you like some brute? Sparkling wine?
Don't
good
push it
stuff.
onto our staff like that.
Please, somebody drink this. I'll help. I've
Naked,
still
bro.
got some. Fuck. I'll drink the brute. If I'd have got Moe Shandon, would you have mocked me as such?
Yeah, for a different reason.
Now, I'm mocking you because we just filmed an episode where the whole point was truth or drink. And Connor...
it was truth and drink.
Truth and drink, and Connor didn't drink a single fucking drop.
Because I drove here.
You fucking drove here.
Mind
Today.
you, we told him
You're
you're
driving
driving
today. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. It's got auto steering.
making the adventure back exciting.
Does Tokyo have Daikor service?
No.
The thing where like you get someone to drive you home in your car.
No.
That's
think-
like all the rage of the countryside.
Yeah, that's the Inaka thing.
It's enough.
He's called Ian Rudd. Good old Ian.
So I got a mini EV, and it has like this auto drive button. Except it just doesn't really.
I remember we did a video a year and a half ago in Okinawa,
Yeah.
and it was with you
Yeah.
driving a Toyota Yaris, and you're like, "Oh, it's amazing! The car drives itself. Watch this!" And you press the button, and the wheel sort of took over. But then we hit a corner, and the car didn't turn the corner, and I was like, "No!"
It's so
It
annoying.
nearly went off a fucking bridge.
So I I've been driving this car, and most of the time it's great on the highway. It works. It doesn't like a turn that's more than like 10 degrees though. So like, and then and also it will change lanes for you if you're going over like 70. Only if you're going over 70.
That sounds dangerous.
No. So like I do it because I'm just there holding on to it, and I'm just like, I wonder if it'll work this time. So I flip my indicator, and then I can see it. It's like on the screen. It's like, all right, we're about to do it.
Yeah.
And then it just turns really shit. What it does is it goes, and so everyone goes like in the car, and it's like, you did the thing that you said you were going to do.
Yeah.
You just did it way worse than what I would do. And every single time I'm in the car with someone, I'm like, look, it'll do the turns for you. And it normally works really good. And then as we get to the turn, it won't do it. And it'll go, you do it.
It still sounds better than your driving, to be honest.
No, fuck
I'd rather
off.
take.
Fuck off.
Have you guys seen those
The
self-driving taxis?
Waymos?
The Waymos?
Yeah. The Waymos, yeah. I've gotten one before in LA.
In LA? You know,
Yeah.
they're coming to Japan now.
Oh, are they?
Oh, I saw an article.
They're pretty
Yeah.
popular in LA, apparently.
Yeah.
They're doing quite well.
I only know this because I was having dinner at a sushi place, and I was sitting next to a bloke who was on holiday, British bloke, and he was like, yeah, I just got a new job at Waymo. And yeah, we're trying to bring these to Japan. I was like, I don't know what a Waymo is. And I Googled it, and I was like, self-driving taxis in Japan?
Whoa. It could
Japan
be
is living in the future.
Honestly, if there's any country that would openly welcome not having to interact at all, even though it's great because taxi drivers already don't talk to you here.
Yeah.
They don't want
Especially in Tokyo.
They do not make
Introvert
sense. But then
Wait,
occasionally-
what was your experience with this in
I mean,
LA?
it's kind of weird.
So you've been in it?
Yeah, I've been in the one in LA.
Cool.
It feels scary to go into.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, and the only time I got really scared and I didn't really like it is that, you know, especially in LA, it's crazy they introduced it there, but I mean, I guess it's an American, it's an American company, I think.
Is
Is that LA drivers are possibly the worst in the world.
Yeah, they're pretty
'Cause
bad.
They will and also to an extent, I think Tokyo drivers are actually terrible as well.
No, I think that's a myth that Japanese drivers are bad. I think
The only
apart from
thing,
the elderly,
as I've been
I've
driving,
only died 4 times.
Which is
There's
the
a lot of
hands
elderly
as I've been
drivers.
driving a lot more, because you can tell who's driving a rental car because it has the wa kanji.
Right.
Every single time behind someone does wa, they'll always miss their turn and try to immediately turn as the turn's coming up because, you know, they're not used to driving. So that's the only criticism I have is that people will nearly kill people all the time in Tokyo because they miss their turn. So if you see a car, don't get too close next to
I feel that's unanimous with most countries.
Yeah, it's true. But in LA, oh my God. Like, whereas in Tokyo, they'll do the turn way too sudden. LA, it'll be like, it'll already have done the branching path and there'll be like fucking rocks and shit blocking you from turning. People will still do it. They'll like fucking, they'll go into, it's insane. The way people drive in LA is fucking bonkers. And also, when they indicate, they take it as like a sign of weakness. So if you indicate being like, I'm trying to get in this lane, they'll be like, fuck bitch, no you're not. And they turn in front of you without indicating to stop you. So it was really terrifying because there was a guy who immediately turned off and the Waymo didn't know what to do and it braked really sharply. And there was a car right behind us and I was like, fuck, I don't like this. And then trying to get into I set it to a mall. And I was trying to get into the mall and it just took a really long time in a way that is uncomfortable for a human to be in the situation where you're kind of awkward about everything else taking so long and everyone's kind of like angry at each other. Whereas the Waymo's like, machine doesn't say go yet.
See, I think I'll just stick with human drivers. You did not sell me on this at all.
Was it cheaper than getting a human taxi?
I think it was like barely cheaper than an Uber. It was
Man,
like,
fuck that. I'm getting an Uber. You did not
I
sell me on
can't
this
remember
at
to be
all.
honest. I
This would
did
be
it
so
because it was
scary.
fun. But I think a lot of
Isn't,
people like it, yeah.
Tesla pinning their future on this. Tesla's putting its future
Is
on
it
like-
Tesla?
No, they're not Teslas.
It's
No,
Google.
this isn't Tesla, no, but I know Tesla's also having their own robo
I wouldn't be
taxi.
surprised.
I think so, but I think they use LiDAR, which is like a much better technology.
Right.
I think in general.
What do you think about humanoid robots?
what
Just
do you
in
mean?
general?
so you're
In
thinking
general?
about because you're talking about it because you made that video about
I made
the
a video.
Chinese robots.
Yep.
I mean,
With Chinese robots?
Have you not seen the
humanoid one.
backflipping, like sword-wielding Chinese robots?
No.
I have,
What?
yeah. I've seen the
What?
backflipping
I mean,
one.
I think that
I swear, we fucking mention China every week on this podcast now.
You
Oh,
just
they
called
come
me in a
for you,
real
guys.
Chinese time of the Chinese time of my life, bro.
I mean, I think the truth is
Oh,
that
here it is, this one, yeah. So it's like a little martial arts show, and they got all these robots dancing around.
Yeah, of course, man.
Nah, it's
Like,
AI.
Rubbish, I can do that. And then they start.
I'll pay to
doing-
see you do this, bro.
I can't even do a press up. I can't fucking do that. Right.
Right.
And then, like, hey, I can do that.
Oh, he did.
I fucking.
I mean, yeah, it's impressive, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like, can you sew? You
Can
know,
you pour me a pint? You're worthless, boy.
can you go into the fields and help farm? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I feel like you're just
split the
Keep
G.
going, Abby. Show
like
the
you're just
robot with the
quoting
sword.
that iRobot line
Keep
right
going.
now.
It's
what is the iRobot line?
It doesn't.
It's when Will Smith is like interrogating that robot, and he's like,
Yeah.
can you write a symphony? Can you paint a picture?" And then the robot replies, "Can you?"
Reverse card.
I can't
write a
symphony. But I think
I can write a fucking best-selling book. I'll have him.
I think that robots will get like we will get much better at getting robots that will be able
They're fucking
to.
hitting them with a stick.
Okay, what job does that fulfill? Whoa!
Whoa!
But drones are just way more effective. Like, you know what I mean? Like the sad truth is like everyone's like, yeah, they'll be super soldiers. And it's like, how much does it cost to make a robot?
Wait, go back. Did that robot just stumble?
Yeah, he
Just-
did stumble. Like, go back a little bit more. A little bit more.
You're like,
Yeah, it's just like,
they can bleed. But this is the thing with robots is that like as we've learned with conventional
Oh shit!
But I think it's
Oh no!
deliberate.
oh, it's deliberate.
Oh, it's deliberate.
Oh, damn. Okay.
okay,
That was kind of fun.
Down.
React to Chinese
Oh no,
robots.
they're drunken.
But
Yeah.
this is the truth behind robots and why at least like right now
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense is that like warfare it doesn't make sense because drones are so fucking cheap.
Yes.
They are
Played drones in my video. That was my idea.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, because I was like, I would much rather face one of these than a fleet of drones that come out of nowhere. And
But that's
take
the
you
thing.
out,
Like
right?
you can explode 50 drones for the price that it might cost to make this thing. It's so
Yeah.
much more effective.
But it's certainly interesting seeing what they're capable of. And
Yeah.
they're at a price point, you know, some of these robots are like $16,000.
Would you get a robot butler?
No, because that
Yes,
was
you
the
fucking would.
no,
Yeah, I would.
no.
Yes, you would.
Hell yeah, I would.
No, because right now the robot butlers are the ones being controlled by guys in India.
Oh, Neo the robot. No.
Like, oh yeah, you can have a robot in your house. By the way, it's fucking a guy in Delhi that's folding your laundry.
It is like, yeah, privacy invasion speed run with physical
God.
consequences.
yeah, and I think
Why don't you wake up in the middle of the night and there's a robot over you with a stick? It's like, oh, how you doing, Terry? Hey, all right.
like, you know, they will get better, I'm sure, at doing certain tasks that need to be automated. Sure, I believe that. But the real crisis is that, like, we're all getting older and the stuff like healthcare is very complicated.
They carry you around,
How can you carry you around? That's the least. That's like the problem we have. least.
is big enough and powerful enough for that.
That's the shortage. God, we have a shortage of people who can carry people around. Like, no, we have this other shit involved. Like, there's so much. Who's gonna wipe? I don't want a fucking robot to be wiping shit off the patients when they're
I
fucking.
don't know. I'd probably rather that than a human, though. If you're in an old people's home, at least
No,
a
because
robot,
you
you would
like-
feel a sense of shame.
I think when you're like
When you're in
60,
an old people's
when you're
home.
60, there's no shame anymore. If you met a 60-year-old
fucking home when I'm 60. What's wrong with you?
when there's like
80.
yeah, 60 for you. When you're 60,
You're not making it to
you
80.
will not give a fuck anymore.
But
You'll be like,
here's the thing: do robots need to look humanoid?
No, they don't.
If you
They
want
don't.
like a shit wiping robot, why not make it look like a shit wiping robot? If you want to reduce like shame,
That's just a Japanese toilet. Though.
Yeah. That's what you described a bidet.
Well, that's why like most of like the like the fine motor skill robots, like the ones that do surgery, are all like little
Yeah.
clamps.
Yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah.
building cars.
Yeah, it's so you design the robot for what it's useful for.
China's spending, I think, $150 billion over the next 20 years on this to push it.
They're just repeating the mistakes that Japan did.
Yeah, probably.
This is just what Japan's done.
But then it could be good. The implications
Sure,
for
yeah.
war are quite
it's
interesting.
good
you
that
could
they
send a
spend
battalion of those into battle and you wouldn't care, as opposed to sending people, right?
I mean, I think it's sad that we're sending battalions of anything into battle.
Yeah.
It's not the solution. I think, I mean, it's. I mean, if they spend all the money, sure, we'll all reap the rewards. If they manage to make cheap labor robots,
Right,
sure.
right.
will we
We'll
get
get
rewards?
We'll get them in the mines.
Or is it just going to fucking crash the economy?
Yeah,
like it
it'll
always
crash the
does?
economy.
Yeah, well.
I don't know. I'll bomb Iran. I don't know. What in doubt?
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, that's
coming from the UK to Japan now is like fucking Tetris of like war zones. It's quite sinister.
You have to fly through the.
I mean, I flew direct from London to Tokyo, but we went on the map. We were very close to northern Iranian airspace, and I was like, can we go the other way via Alaska now? It's crazy, to think in the last 10 years ago, you could fly 10 hours over Russia, job done.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a long trip. Now it's like 15 hours, and it's like, by the time you get here, you're like,
this is why war should stop. I want shorter flight times.
It's
getting in the way of my life.
Wasting my fucking time.
This flight took 5 hours longer. Stop this conflict. Yes, it's problematic, isn't it? And, it's a bit annoying,
It's war, yes.
War bad.
I think Chris could solve this all.
Yeah.
How would you solve the war?
Just
Which war are we even talking about?
Anime.
Anime. Oh. What?
Anime could fix this.
anime fans would go to war
Yeah, it's true.
over
Yes, yeah,
lesser
One
than
Piece will fix it.
One Piece.